Hey there. Are you by chance currently thinking poorly of everyone's favorite pirate software? That's right. Maybe you did not know that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I mean, he never says this, but I think it's important to remind people that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years. That's right. In fact, they called him Pirate a Blizzard 7 software. Okay, no one called him like that. I made that one up. But in any case, he also was the first second generation Blizzard Nepo baby. That's right. Now that is impressive. But his dad said he wasn't a Nepo baby, so it's all cool. Don't think about it too hard. And once he got exposed, literally for being a furry and a guy. And I made a video about it, and literally no one cared. And the most popular comment was, "Did you not already believe this, Quasar? Are you insane?" And I was like, well, I mean, I suspected it, but the fact that this is literally now confirmed without any doubts, and no one cares, is it's kind of shocking. Just a little bit at this point. But in any case, the pirate software saga continues. And soon it will escalate to an extreme degree because seemingly all of Pirate Software's mods have abandoned him. Yes, that includes his lawyer mod who was doing lawyer stuff for him in America while being British and never being in America. You can't make this up. There's a reason Pirate Software is one of the greatest lolcows of all time, okay? There's a good reason for that. In any case, today's activities are going to probably lead to a whole new level of pirate software lore. Because when everyone's leaving you, they're probably angry and they're probably going to talk. And when they talk, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of dirty things that they're going to say.
Software's crew, more specifically his first mate, that being Kronos, his head moderator, and the rest of his mod team have either been fired or jumped ship. And in doing a bit of research, there has been some very interesting details that have come out surrounding this mass exodus / firing that has just gone down. Like Pirate apparently calling Kronos a parasite, as well as the rest of
That is so on point because Kronos is a parasite, by the way. Again, the lore of Kronos is as follows. He's Pirate Software's head mod, and he is his lawyer. Why would any lawyer ever choose to work as a mod for some Twitch streamer? I have no idea, because you would literally have to pay them like 100k plus in a salary for being a mod to just break even with the career they otherwise would have. And Kronos took it, okay? And he's not being paid 10k a month, okay? And he is Pirate Software's lawyer who is threatening to sue people in America while he is in Britain, and he can't even practice law legally in Britain. He doesn't have the proper qualifications. So, Pirate Software's a lawyer who threatens to sue people has no idea, can't even do it in America because he doesn't have the qualifications. He doesn't even have them in his own country. This is how wild this lore gets.
The moderation team seemingly starting to jump onto the Pirate Software hate train. We had some sleeper cells from Quaker Nation infiltrate the very public Discord that Kronos has himself, where he hopped into a voice call alongside a lot of the other mods who seemed to just be chatting. And it seems that they were having some conversations in regard to their tenure working for Pirate Software, and I would say the negative aspects of that, which are going to become very apparent. And I thought to myself, well, given the severity of what is going down here with a lot of the Pirate Software community, leaving the community leaders, well, I guess to me it just feels like the Pirate Software ship is...
The last time we checked the Pirate Software ship, he unironically had lost 98% of his viewership on every platform. He's done. Okay, he's gonna probably come crawling back to Blizzard at this point, and he's not gonna be pirate Blizzard 7 software. He's gonna now go up to 8 and 9 because he's probably not going to have any other choice.
Finally sinking. So I figured now would probably be the best time to bring back the limited time doubling down merch. Quick change, Quintio here. That is right. We are bringing them back mainly because I just want to get another one because it's really fucking comfy.
I'm not going to lie. This looks absolutely disgusting.
It's not called doubling.
Jeez, I don't even want to be mean here, but what that is not well. Oh wow, guys, are you buying this? Are you buying this? It should at the bare minimum be bigger. Actually, if this was a lot bigger, it would be decent-ish. But I mean, this small, oof, man.
And if you're right on the front, beautiful. Switch it over to the back, the beautiful decal. For those that will scream, nice. He's doubling down. Yes, I damn well am. This has genuinely gone through over 100 washes at this point. I'm blown.
Oh, and by the way, we haven't even talked about the stop killing games situation, how that is absolutely destroying Pirate Software after he lied about it.
In a way that it is still stuck together. So hey, if you wanna get yours, check out the shop, which you can find at quintio.printify 2023. Keeping up with any of the recent drama surrounding I'm Fetus getting his Twitch ban, things like that, this may come as a bit of a shock because Kronos was interacting during that time and communicating with the different parties, including I'm Fetus. Now, this got brought to my attention through my Discord, as we have a couple of threads for, drama discussion. Speaking of, hey, check pin comment. Might have the Discord link if you're 18 and up, like to play video games, chat drama. But you can see here it says no longer engaged on Pirate Software work or associated with him. Contact him directly or go to his Discord server. Now that is not worded, I would say, in a very positive way. But of course, that could just be how I'm perceiving this. Let's just kind of go into
No, absolutely not worded in the nicest way possible.
More of the details. Now, just one more tiny prerequisite.
Now, granted, maybe a lot of people are trying to reach out to him after he stopped working, and because of that, he's kind of pissed. That would be understandable. But let's face it, that also seems like the very lowest chance probability here.
Person that I'm going to be showing their Discord name and stuff is going to be Kronos. But for the sake of just keeping it nice and simple, I am going to have blacked out all the other names. Now, I have reached out to 2 other separate mods to see if they were willing to comment. I'll also...
They're gonna comment at some point. They're gonna start talking, and when that happens, oh boy.
So include screenshots of those. They were not interested in having a conversation. I don't necessarily blame them, but wanted to show you guys that I made some sort of effort to reach out to them. After those 2 responses, I figured, okay, I think I know how they're all going to be. And I even shot a whisper to Kronos, but of course he did not reply. And he's got me blocked on every other platform. So this is kind of like the first evidence to show you guys, to show what I'm talking about here. This is Kronos in a VC call, as screenshotted here, with a few other mods, as well as I think a few ex-members of Pirate's Discord. And there's a bit of chatting here.
Just anything that might be used against him or prove him wrong gets snoked the fuck. Yeah, that seems like... Listen, if you show me a sentence like this, I'm gonna instantaneously assume, even when we're not talking about Pirate Software, well, that's a Pirate Software thing to do. Pirate Software has nuked everything, or at least tried to. It makes him look bad.
It just kind of seems like, Kronos is speaking out loud and the rest of them are pretty much just chatting by typing in the VC chat. Now, again, I don't have concrete proof that they're always talking about Pirate, but using context clues, I think it's...
And by the way, technically, Pirate Software is a millionaire. Definitely a multi-millionaire, by the way. Not even technically, definitely. But you gotta understand, those ferret suits are probably real expensive, okay? That's an expensive hobby. So, he's gonna need money. So he's not going anywhere, boys.
Easy to kind of understand sometimes when they're for sure probably talking about him. In this case here, right behind me, somebody here says, just anything that might be used against him or proved him wrong gets nuked. The fuck? Now, from what I understand, most of these messages come from around the same VC over the course of a couple of hours in that evening. And I'll just be reading through the main points, but feel free to pause and read the additional stuff at your own pace, whatever. But the top one here to start. So what is this nuke that's dropped that I've apparently missed? It sounds mad. And someone replied to them down here. Thor accused Kronos of being a parasite and removed his mod access to Discord / Twitch / etc. That is where I'm...
I mean, I'm surprised this didn't happen previously. Again, Kronos has done nothing but been wrong. Wrongfully filing a DMCA, not understanding any of the basic stuff. Even Like, Kronos literally told Pirate Software that, oh, we don't have to corroborate anything. The fact that this guy implies that there's something of your likeness is enough for us to legally destroy him, which is completely wrong. Most people, in fact, know this. That's when he wanted to DMCA the game for, using his likeness. And there are so many other situations where Pirate Software just tries to act big and tough and talks about suing people and then gets absolutely destroyed because Kronos has no idea about anything associated with the law. Like, Kronos actually deserves like some kind of star. Which star? For legitimately just getting money off of Pirate Software while doing effectively nothing. Because Pirate Software definitely, there's no proof of this, but I think Pirate Software definitely paid him at least somewhat of a salary bonus because he's a lawyer who can't even do lawyer stuff in the UK where he lives because he's not qualified. And after failing, I think he failed in total like 3 or 4 times when saying, I'm gonna sue people, and then got humiliated. And it's all because of Kronos. Because Kronos seemingly doesn't even know the most basic stuff about law.
Getting this, he was called a parasite thing, and it seems like shortly after that, he ends up putting in his 2 weeks. I say that because in this other screenshot here, we can see, this, gonna prepare the catapult. Right after that, the prepare the catapult. K, I'm assuming Kronos already gave notice, don't stress. They also follow up, and now this kind of seems to get into them, airing their grievances with Pirate, saying, common, all the collab and raids you did to all different people, versus Thor on a loop only raiding the ferrets does say a lot, seemingly talking about him being selfish. Another previous mod saying, just waiting for PS stream and general chat to realize it. I'm assuming realize that all of the mods have disappeared. Someone else saying, same here for Block Game. I actually have a really funny clip in
I do think this is funny that the mod is legitimately thinking, oh, I mattered. People are gonna notice when I'm gone. Bro, go back to Reddit.
Regard to that. Not exactly the same, but very similar. Now, Block Game was this like Minecraft thing that Pirate Software was working on with one of the mods here as like the lead kind of Java developer for it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, Pirate Software still hasn't finished his game. It's almost been 10 years at this point. Getting close to it. And current predictions are he's probably not gonna finish it. Oh boy.
Which they ended up stepping down because Pirate wanted it all to be converted over to Hightail, which was a huge job to do, and the mod was like, I'm not capable of doing this at this time. But Block Game wasn't receiving updates, and apparently it had been down for 4 days, and nobody noticed until Thor got a text speech in his stream chat literally today or yesterday, as the time that you're watching this. And here's that clip.
Block Game is down. It's been down for like 4 days, and no one said a word. I'll go put it back up.
What the hell is Block Game? If I Google it, can I even find it? Block Game. Do I even put it together? Block Game. I have no idea of this. Are we just seeing Minecraft stuff? What is Block Game? Oh, Pirate Software has a thing about it. It looks like Minecraft. Is this literally just Minecraft? Oh, yeah, a rip-off Minecraft. I mean, that's probably the first game he ever got close to finishing. Probably because he wasn't the dev on it.
I was trying to see how long it would take before somebody actually checks. But nobody seemed to care.
Yes.
Oh, you can.
Oh yeah, you can feel the disappointment in his voice. No one cares about. Yes, that's called being a normal person. The people watching me and subscribe, who are subscribed and like my videos, don't care about me. Why do you think someone cares about you?
Hear that resentment building. Holy shit. But nobody seemed to care. Now, the following screenshots are not in any particular order, maybe just because I think that's going to be a better viewing experience for you guys, but truly this is just kind of a highlight reel of some of the stuff that they were saying.
Oh, what the hell? Quintian's using my format for Twitter slop.
This one right here, people are saying hi to each other, and then I think they're, again, talking directly to Kronos here while he's in call. I think you were a shield for a lot of BS, and then a bunch of people saying, I canceled mine from renewing, mine will expire soon, will end in June. I believe they're talking about their subscriptions to Pirate. Following up in this one, it's kind of clear that the other moderators really were not a fan of Pirate software, probably not even Kronos himself towards the end. Someone said here, there's a reason why I wanted this community to be good for you and for all the mods to be chill and be safe from him. Someone said, well, you did lure in people with some
Chill and be safe from him, my god. The ferrets need to be safe from him.
one's name, you're a warmer person. He and the community were begging you to stream. And then someone else saying you are the reason why he didn't lose mods and other streamers quicker. Now, this could be Kronos. It could be also they were chatting amongst each other, a different mod in this chat here. But still, like, making a point like you're the reason why he didn't lose mods and other streamers quicker is crazy. And I do want to jump in and just make it clear, I'm not doing this to be like, aha, I told you so or anything. I'm actually really surprised that
I would, though. That's definitely something that I would do. Oh boy.
the full mod team has dropped. It really seemed like these people were ride or dies. And from my understanding, with as long as they had lasted alongside him, I thought that maybe Pirate had been treating them better than how he treats his community at times, versus
Wow.
how he treats people that are more, public facing, like the dramas that we've talked about. But that is just simply not the case. As a matter of fact, one of them pointed out that one of the reasons that they stopped watching him was how mean he was being to his viewers. There's just some kind of like chatting between them. And then right at the bottom here, my biggest problem with him and why I stopped watching him was the casual cruelty he showed to members of the community. And so again, this wasn't just reserved for, just random members of the community. It was clear that it was also him treating his mod team like this, including Kronos, like calling him a parasite and all this after, pretty much everyone has dipped on Pirate. Most of his fan base, most of the viewers that he would have had are completely gone. And now it seems like he is also just turning on everyone that's close to him. Or maybe this has been a very slow burn over the course of the last couple of years, and now it's finally culminating because he probably can't pay them. Or at the very least, he can't pay most of the mod team that he originally had when he was talking.
True. This is most likely real. Now, granted, he does have the money in his bag, but his current profits most likely cannot afford to pay mods.
Talking about, paying for their dental and having them have insurance and full paid, full-time jobs. Another interaction here, someone says,
oh, and by the way, this is the hypocrisy that most people uptight and of the mindset of pirate software have. Oh, my people have dental. Yeah, where's the dental now? You literally fired them. The moment the money got tight for you got rid of all of that. It didn't even, that wasn't probably even a hard decision, okay? Oh, my money's going low. Well, I guess that's your dental. It's so common, honestly. There. Oh, beautiful.
Toxic X could be referencing, what's being chatted about. But someone says, Ori does some BS to community when you had mental health day like AP stuff in December. Basically fucks with your day.
Mental health day, Jesus Christ.
Days off. Now this could just be them, like, oh yeah, and then when shit hit the fan, like when you had to be out, something was going on. And down here, sorry, you have a reasonable take on stuff, Kronos. Clearly it's a problem. I almost want to believe that has to do with the fact that I was, giving him a bit of praise here recently with the I'm Fetus stuff. It sounded like he was pointing out the fact that there were a few, pirate fans that were also, being a little too intense, thinking that, Fetus was directly targeting Pirate in some malicious way when he was.
Oh, the Fetus stuff is, people were speculating that Pirate Software striked him for pretending to be him or something like that. I don't know too much about the details there. I wanted to look into it, but I honestly forgot.
Is doing the parody shit. I'm truly just speculating there. I have nothing to back it, but that's, the best thing that I could come up with. It realistically is one of hundreds of other issues that they probably ran into, and it just happens to line up with also what happened recently. Next one up, this one comes along with a clip to show you guys, but they're chatting back and forth, and somebody sent in.
You know what's the craziest part? Everyone knows how bad of a person Pirate Software is at this point, how egocentrical he is about things, how self-righteous he is, how always right he needs to be, and all the other negatives about his personality. And there are still people who unironically are looking up to him and being like, wow, when I grow up, I want to be that bad of a programmer and stuff like that. It is insane. And we should check up on Pirate Software's YouTube channel to see what he's doing with the shorts. Because he had that time period when he literally tried to rebrand to do these cringy, oh, you better look, when times get rough, you better think about the good parts in life. So some kind of cringy of hope that something goes viral about looking at the positives in life and being the better person or whatever. He tried to rebrand himself at one point with something like that on his shorts.
Twitch link here from one of Pirate Software's streams, and I'll play the clip here.
I wanted to ask, are the
Wild
mods okay?
price,
Did you maybe lose the basement key? Notice they are less around. Just wanted to know. I don't mind if you won't
Will he ban that person?
explain. Was just wondering if everything is okay. Happy
Bro,
to-
look at this. Look at this text to speech. You're donating money to someone, and you're trying to minimize him getting angry at the end. Just wanted to know. Not a big deal, just saying, just interested. No, if you don't want to answer, don't answer. Like, this person is giving him money while clearly afraid to be banned.
to be a part of this place. Keep on keeping up. Chat, remember to use bread and watch the noodles.
Do you think I should pour some, like, noodles down there? Like is there like a food that am I supposed to feed them?
Now that you've got that context, they follow up here saying, yep, plus did try to make it a joke so we can dodge it in a funny way. Am I supposed to feed them? ...
Funny way, eh? I did not laugh. ...
He, at this point, had lost pretty much most of his mod team, if not all of them. Probably did the thing to Kronos. I think that's what led to all of the other mods also kind of dipping. And yeah, they weren't super stoked about it. Following it up, just seems like these people really prefer Kronos over Pirate Software at this point. Someone is, I'm assuming, messaging someone earlier. Kronos is not Pirate Software mod. Another individual says, Kronos, I'm sorry you have a community of people that prefer hanging out with you rather than Thor because you have a much chiller, cooler place with less drama that could have easily been avoided or reduced. So like, as much as it is just a good point, it's like, okay, there's less drama over here, this community. It's interesting that they're making a point that there could have been less drama that was easily avoided or reduced, referencing that Pirate did not handle it well. And then somebody else down here, former mod, he has nobody to blame but himself. He sees enemies and then makes them his enemies. Sounds like, describing how he was turning on like his mod team like Kronos. Sees Kronos as an enemy, makes him an enemy, even if that wasn't the case. Following up, though, we have something where it seems like they're chatting about a situation, or Kronos is talking about something that happened to him, and the other people are chatting, saying, when did that happen? Oh God, just always shift on mood is never fun to deal with. Doing something based on somebody's mood that day, that must have sucked. I'm sorry you went through that. That's not okay. Yeah, right. He has no empathy. Again, assuming...
By the way, I'm assuming these are all men chatting, saying things like this. Oof.
that they're talking about Pirate Software. And then the last screenshot that I have to show you guys are them chatting more so, starting with quote-unquote friend. This is the same person chatting in these two that I'm going to read back to back. They say, well, it used to be better than corporate, referring to their job working under Pirate Software. And then they said, that work environment didn't last very long. And then to jump back before that, someone else had said, friends, so long as you're super convenient. Person talking about how the work environment has changed says, Jesus Christ, man, I know, right? Followed up with, that was my problem with everything. He did very little to see things from any other perspective. Now, where have we heard that before? It is to some degree cathartic to see that the mod team was having the same issues, and now it kind of recontextualizes it.
You know what's my favorite part about this? Pirate Software will obviously not learn anything from this, except that he was right, obviously, that he did everything right. My God.
That like, yeah, maybe they weren't the biggest fans of the guy, but they were getting paid. Like, they were a part of that community for however long when it was good. So I don't necessarily blame them for noticing these things, being bothered by them, but still sticking around. It's like when you're doing it for a job and the boss is kind of an asshole, you just kind of put up with it. And then down here continuing, someone said same here, and following after that, and it was always this is what I did and why I did it, that's why it's fine. Which I'm pretty sure is exactly what he explained to Dr. K, and how Dr. K responded to that with being, yeah, that makes you sound incredibly, incredibly arrogant.
I think sometimes the things that I talk about in
classic.
regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that
If
is
that
the
makes sense.
problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase.
Please don't cut it.
This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't see it that way.
That's the
Now, as
full
it
one.
comes to a close, just the last thing to show you guys, as I am a man of my word, here are the photos from me trying to reach out to some of the mods to see if they were willing to have a comment on it. The most I got out of it was they don't wish to comment, also make better content. So I'm going to try to make the jump cuts feel a bit more natural with this one, out of respect for making a bit more quality content for you guys. And same thing with this bad boy. I gave a bit of information here. No thanks. You could just leave it alone, right? Of all the content to create, you chose this one. Now look, were they kind of being stinky to me? Yeah. But from their point of view, I for sure deserve it. And I'm sure that they wanted to be a bit more nasty to me than they even were. So kudos to them for being as respectful in their disses as they were.
Oh, look at them, the sly fox trying to melt the barriers down, trying to get them to do an interview with him, trying to make them say, "Oh, we're not actually enemies, we're friends, aren't we?" Oh, nice, good attempt, 10 out of 10. Sekuno would be proud.
The end of the day, they've been dealing with this drama, and this drama has led to them kind of leaving. I don't know how good they had it with Pirate Software during the glory days of working with him, but I can't imagine that they would be very kind to anybody, including myself or anyone else that has made videos covering the Pirate Software drama. I doubt that they would be happy to be speaking with any of us. I know that I've done my best to be charitable when there is room to be charitable with Pirate or with any of the other content that I cover. That's kind of my whole goal, is to try to remain unbiased, or when I do have an inclination to let you guys know and let you make your own decisions. But I do want to make it clear in this situation with these mods, don't go after them. Don't call them jerks because they're being mean to me. I really don't blame them. There's a good chance that all these people are
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, that was Quintian. 10 out of 10, boys. Pirate Software is back on the menu. Bye.